Imagine walking through a German town in the middle of the 18th century. The streets are narrow and lined with timber houses that lean slightly toward each other. Small workshops fill the lower floors of many buildings, where craftsmen spend long hours shaping wood, forging iron, or sewing clothing by hand. The smell of smoke from fireplaces mixes with the scent of fresh bread from nearby bakeries. Horses pull wooden carts along rough stone roads, and merchants shout their prices in the busy marketplace. At first glance, life in such a town might seem peaceful and orderly. People follow familiar routines every day. Farmers arrive early in the morning to sell vegetables, grain, and eggs. Craftsmen open their workshops and begin their work before sunrise. Families gather around their tables in the evening after long days of labor. Yet behind this ordinary life stood a strict system of laws that shaped almost every part of society. These laws were not only meant to punish crimes, but also to control behavior, maintain order, and reinforce the authority of rulers. During the 18th century, Germany as we know it today did not yet exist as a single country. Instead, the region consisted of hundreds of independent territories. These territories included duchies, kingdoms, bishoprics, and free imperial cities. All of them were connected through a political structure known as the Holy Roman Empire. Each territory had its own ruler, its own courts, and often its own laws. Some regions were governed by powerful princes, while others were ruled by bishops or city councils. Because of this political fragmentation, the laws people lived under could vary greatly depending on where they lived. However, many legal traditions were shared throughout the German lands. Courts often relied on a combination of written legal codes, local customs, and the authority of rulers. Maintaining social order was considered extremely important. Authorities believed that strong discipline and visible punishment were necessary to prevent chaos. One of the most recognizable punishments of the 18th century was the pillory. The pillory was a wooden structure placed in a public square where criminals could be displayed in front of the entire community. A person convicted of certain offences would have their head and hands locked between two wooden boards. Once secured in the pillory, the offender could not move freely. They would remain there for several hours, sometimes even for an entire day. During this time, townspeople gathered around to watch the punishment. Many spectators mocked the offender. Some shouted insults, while others threw rotten vegetables, fruit, or mud. Children sometimes laughed at the spectacle, while adults used the moment to remind their families about the consequences of breaking the law. The purpose of the pillory was humiliation. Authorities believed that public shame was one of the strongest ways to discourage crime. If people saw how embarrassing the punishment was, they might think twice before committing similar offences. Crimes that could lead to the pillory included spreading false rumours, cheating customers, dishonest trade practices, or minor theft. In some cases, the offender had to wear a sign around their neck explaining the crime they had committed. Another form of punishment used in the 18th century was corporal punishment. This included whipping or other forms of physical discipline. These punishments could be carried out publicly or within local courts. Physical punishments were intended to demonstrate the authority of the law. They served as reminders that rulers had the power to maintain order and discipline in society. Banishment was also a common punishment. Instead of being imprisoned for long periods, criminals were sometimes expelled from the city or region entirely. A person who was banished had to leave their home immediately and was forbidden to return. In the 18th century, banishment could be extremely dangerous. Travel was difficult and many roads were unsafe. Without money, family connections, or a place to stay, a banished person might struggle to survive. Religion also played a powerful role in shaping laws during this period. Churches were closely connected to political authority, and religious beliefs influenced many legal decisions. Blasphemy, which meant insulting religion or sacred symbols, could be treated as a serious crime. Authorities believed that protecting religion helped maintain moral order within society. Punishments for religious offences could include fines, imprisonment, or public humiliation. In some regions, religious authorities even participated directly in legal proceedings. Communities also enforced strict rules about moral behaviour. Gambling, excessive drinking, and disturbing public order could lead to punishment. Authorities believed that controlling such behaviour helped maintain stability and discipline within society. Another important feature of 18th century law was social hierarchy. Society was divided into several classes, including nobles, clergy, merchants, craftsmen, and peasants. These social classes did not only influence daily life, but also affected the way justice was applied. In some cases, wealthy individuals could avoid physical punishment by paying fines. Poorer individuals, however, often faced harsher penalties. Despite these inequalities, the 18th century also marked the beginning of important changes in how people thought about justice. Across Europe, philosophers and scholars began to question traditional forms of punishment. This intellectual movement became known as the Enlightenment. Enlightenment thinkers argued that laws should be based on reason rather than fear. They believed that punishments should be fair, proportional, and applied equally to all citizens. These new ideas gradually began to influence rulers and legal reforms throughout Europe. Although the legal systems of the 18th century were still far from modern standards, they represented an important transition in the history of justice. By studying the laws and punishments of this period, we gain insight into how societies gradually moved toward the modern principles of fairness, equality, and human rights that shape legal systems today. You've just learned about some of the strange and fascinating laws that shaped life in Germany during the 18th century. History often shows us how different the world once was and how societies gradually changed over time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like so more people can discover it. And if you would like to see more videos about history, unusual laws, and fascinating stories from the past, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next journey through history.